Well, come on in, y'all. I'm Paula Deen, and today I'm fixing to show you everything you'll ever need to know about making wonderful homemade candies. Stand back for a fudge lover's dream. The secret? Well, you're just gonna have to keep watching. I'm gonna show you how to make the most heavenly divinity on the planet, just the way my mama taught me. And finally, the most special treat of all, a sesame seed candy that'll have you singing like Johnny Mercer. In fact, it's his mama's recipe. So who needs a special occasion to go making candies? Not me, because every day's a candy day where I come from. I'm so excited about today's show and the time we're going to be spending together. Today we're doing candies. One of our favorite ingredients in the South when we're making candy is pecans. In fact, I was born in Albany, Georgia, and it's considered the pecan capital of the world. And when I left Albany, people would say, Paula, it's pecan. And no, it's not pecan. It's pecan. The word is spelled P-E-C-A-N. Pecan. But before we get started, we're going to go to one of my favorite shops located down on River Street. And they have the most wonderful pecans and candy that you can imagine. Savannah's Candy Kitchen is an institute here on River Street. They have the biggest selection from hard and soft candies to homemade pralines and candied apples. You know, I bet my friend Becky is inside waiting on me right now. Hey, Becca.
Hey, Paula. What can I do for you today?
How are you? I need some pecans. Pecans.
Well, do you need them whole or broken?
Give me both.
Okay.
So how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Selling lots of pecans.
Yes, ma'am. What you making with these?
I'm making Divinity and Fudge.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. You know, because not everybody has access to the wonderful candies that y'all make here. Well, thank you so much. Now that's, oh good, and you got it separated. Thanks a bunch.
You're welcome.
It's so hard not to spend extra time tasting all these wonderful goodies they have here. But I just gotta get home and start on my cheesy fudge. We're back to make one of my favorite candies using two of my most favorite ingredients, chocolate and cheese. We're gonna be making chocolate cheese fudge, and you won't believe how simple, quick, and easy. I can get this done normally in 3 to 5 minutes. Unbelievable. We're gonna start with processed cheese, and it takes a little longer to melt than your butter, so you'll wanna cut it up in cubes and let it kind of get a head start on your butter. So we've got our cheese in the pot, and we're gonna add our butter. We're gonna stir these two ingredients together until they're melted, which doesn't take very long. So you can see that cheese is already starting to get all loose and gushy in there. Where on earth did this recipe come from, y'all? I don't know. A friend gave it to me years ago, and we just had more fun with it. When we ate our fudge, we could reason out that because it had cheese, it had one of the food groups, that it must be good for us. So we didn't hesitate to eat our fudge. And it's totally melted. So we're gonna turn that off, and we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna sift 2 pounds of powdered sugar, and we're gonna stick our cocoa in with our last bag. I make this fudge all the time. I have so much fun with this recipe. I remember the first time I served it to my girlfriends, and one of my friends tasted it, and she said, oh God, Paula, she said, that's the best fudge I've ever tasted. She said, that's like the Amish make up in Pennsylvania. And when I told her it was actually cheese, she almost fainted. All right, we've got this ready. We are gonna add our nuts to our cheese and butter and just stir that in. And then we're gonna add about a teaspoon of vanilla. Then we're gonna pour this over our sugar. So we're just gonna stir that up and get it going. Unbelievable, isn't it? And in just a minute after I've got it kind of fairly mixed up, I'm going in with my hands. There's nothing in here, y'all, but powdered sugar, nuts, cheese, butter, and vanilla. You can make this dish from start to finish in about 7 to 8 minutes. All right, now I've got that moistened, so here's the fun. So So here we go. How fun is this? Look at that. The cheese is almost fudge now. How easy was that? And we're going to take it over here and we're going to put it into our pan. Now, if you're using a glass bowl, you may want to spray it, but we're using a Teflon pan, so we're not even going to be bothered by spraying it. And we're going to press it out, and this will harden. In about 8 to 10 minutes, you'll be ready to cut and serve. Because of all the butter in this candy, after I get it patted out, I'll take a paper towel and just gently blot. And if you're in a big hurry, if you're running late, like so often I do, just take this and stick it in the fridge, and in about 5 minutes, you'll be ready to cut and serve. And that's just what I'm going to do with this batch I made earlier. And I'm going to cut it, and we're going to see just how good cheese can really be. Look at that. The best cheese you've ever eaten. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. All right, we're back here in my kitchen. We've got all of our ingredients to make my mama's wonderful, wonderful Divinity candy. And I want to start out by telling you just a couple of tips. If you get up and it's raining and damp outside, don't even try it. Postpone it to another day because it will not harden for you. The next tip that I have for you is start with room temperature egg whites. So we're going to give it a try here. I remember in grammar school when we would have functions, we would have fundraising functions, and we'd have carnivals and fairs, and everybody would have to contribute something. Well, on fair day, my hand would be the first one up saying, my mama will make Divinity, my mama will make Divinity, because she made the most beautiful. And I was so proud when I would walk up to the candy table and my mother's candy was the prettiest of all. In fact, this is going to bring back so many memories for me today. If I close my eyes, I can see this beautiful red-headed young woman standing at the counter making beautiful mounds of Divinity. So we're going to put our sugar and water and our corn syrup. And I'll tell you a little tip about this corn syrup. Anytime you're using anything sticky, you can spray your measuring cup with a non-stick spray and it will just roll right on out of there for you. And we're going to stir this just until it dissolves. And we're going to start over fairly high heat. And it'll take just a few minutes. And another thing when you're making Divinity, as you can see from here, I've got a wonderful thick pot. Don't ever try to make Divinity in a thin pot. And when we get this dissolved and we quit stirring, we're going to stick in a candy thermometer. Now, some people like to use cold water for their testing, but I really recommend that you use a thermometer, something that you can really count on. Because one man's soft ball could be another man's hard ball. So, for accuracy, use one of these. Divinity is nothing but sugar, y'all. As you can tell from the ingredients, sugar and water. So, if you're looking for something local, don't even go here. We're fixing to stick this thermometer in. We're going to clip that to our pot. And you can see the red mercury. We're at 140 right now. And we're going to have to go to 250. So we got a good ways to go. And we hadn't started boiling yet, but it's not going to take it but just a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to start with our meringue. Always start with a room temperature egg. And we're going to just break these eggs right on into here. And these yolks, you can cover them with a little oil, wrap them in a plastic wrap, and they'll be good for you for 4 to 5 days. So don't fret about having yolks that you feel like you might not use. We're going to start our egg whites, and we're going to beat them until they form nice soft peaks. All right, let's lift these up and take a look at that. See, those are at nice peaks. And we're just a-rolling over here. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, and we are now up to about 230. The most important thing is your accuracy on your syrup. You want to make sure that you take it to the 250 degrees. If you take it less than that, then it's not going to firm up for you. If you take it more than that, then it's going to be dry and hard before you can even drop it. Oh, this brings back so many wonderful memories. I never saw my mother make Divinity that did not turn out. It's just light and airy and just dissolves into your mouth, and it's just one of the best candies that you can eat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're there. All right, we're going to turn our heat off. And this can be tricky because you have now gotten a very, very hot syrup. And you don't want to burn yourself. We're going to go back to our egg whites. They have formed a nice peak. And now we're going to take our syrup and we're going to very, very slowly pour it in to our meringue. And I'll tell you this is my least favorite part about making Divinity, because you have to do it in a fine, steady little stream. And as you can see, we've got a pretty big pot of syrup here. Mama, I think we're going to make you proud today. Hopefully I can live up to your wonderful Divinity. We're finally there. Now we're going to let this beat until it loses its gloss. That's when you'll know that your candy's ready and ready to put on your wax paper. And we're going to add, about a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. We're finally there and it's starting to lose its gloss. I'm going to slowly lift up our beater and lower our temperature so I can get every bit of that candy off that paddle. And we're going to quickly stir in our pecans. Now the recipe calls for 1 cup, but I'm a nutty girl, so I'm going to use 2 cups. We're going to fold those in. Look at that beautiful, beautiful candy. It looks like Mama's. All right, so we're going to go over here, and I'm going to take just a little bit of our candy and pop in the corners of our pan. So that'll hold us down and we won't be slipping and sliding all over the place. And this is the part that you could really use a friend. But I'm going to try to get it done myself and see how we do. Look how beautiful. And this will set up and harden for you. We're going to use 1 spoon to dip with and the other to twirl it off. Look how beautiful. This recipe originally came from my grandmother, and my grandmother was a fabulous cook, but she never mastered the art of making Divinity. But my mother had a touch for it that was just unbelievable. But you know what? I have to confess, I'm still not as good as my mother.
And I have a batch that's already hardened.
Let's try it. It's sinfully wonderful. It's Christmas. It's Thanksgiving. It's birthday. It's fabulous. And next, I'm going to tell you what Moon River and Uncle Bubba's Benne candy have in common.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
The next recipe I'm going to share with y'all today is Uncle Bubba's Benne seed candy. We're going to start with our Benne seed, and we're going to want to wash these and pick through them and make sure there's no twigs or stones. So we're just going to quickly run these under the water. We'll give them a little shake. We want to drain them well. And we're going to throw them into a hot cast iron skillet. Let's see if we got a sizzle. Yeah, we got a nice hot pan. And we're going to want to toast these off until they're a nice light brown. And this is like a nut. You don't want to scorch it, because if you overdo it, you can just put it in the trash can, because you cannot get that scorched taste out of it. And we're going to cook these until they're dried out and a nice light brown. And this will take about 2 minutes. And while I'm browning these, I want to tell y'all where this recipe came from. My next door neighbor and dear friend, Nancy Gerard, shared this recipe with me. And she said, Paula, I really do want to share with you my Uncle Bubba's favorite candy. Well, her uncle was Johnny Mercer, one of America's most loved and favorite songwriters. And he couldn't get home at Christmas time. And Nancy would get in the kitchen along with her grandmother and the family cook, Big Nancy, and they would make Johnny's two favorite things. That was his mother's white fruit cake and Benne seed candy. The first time she talked about her Uncle Bubba, I said, well, Nancy, who is Uncle Bubba? One day we were out and she said, oh, look, we're on Uncle Bubba Boulevard. And I said, Uncle Bubba Boulevard? She said, yeah, Johnny Mercer Boulevard. So I love talking with Nancy and listening to all the stories. The Benne seeds are now brown and toasted and ready, and they're actually just a sesame seed. All right, we're gonna come over here now that those are ready, and we're gonna start the actual candy process. We're gonna put in our brown sugar, a little butter, about 2 tablespoons of butter, our milk, and our vinegar. And we're gonna stir this until it's dissolved, and then we're gonna let it cook till it forms a light thread. I wish you were here with me because the aroma coming out of our pots is just wonderful. It's like a caramel. So I can understand why Johnny couldn't stand the thoughts of going without this, because this was not something that you could go into a sweet shop and find. This had to come out of Mama's kitchen. Our candy's at the proper temperature. We're gonna add these seeds and give them a quick stir, and we're pouring that into a buttered pan. Look at that wonderful rich caramel color and all those little seeds. And this really is simple to make. It's amazing how quickly this candy will get hard. And we're not gonna cut it right now, but we are gonna score it. And then after it gets completely hard, we'll come back and cut it. I scored my first batch bright and early this morning, so it's all ready to be sliced. And look how pretty that's cutting. Now this is a rich candy. If you make it, you might want to cut it in a little smaller pieces because it's truly, truly rich. All right, it's ready to go on the plate. Look at that wonderful candy. Look at it. Nancy, I think we'd make Uncle Bubba proud. It's beautiful. Mmm. Delicious. Stick around because next I'm going to show you how to make every candy recipe turn out perfect.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
As I promised, I'm back to share with you a few tips in your candy making. Always start with a clean pot because if it has any oil or fat in it, it can cause your sugar to crystallize. Should you find that your sugar has crystallized, simply put a lid on it and the moisture will evaporate the crystallized sugar, or you can simply take a brush, dip it in ice water, and go around your pot. And always make sure you have some ice cold water sitting close by, because in case you accidentally burn yourself, it's a burn like you've never felt before. And flavoring contains alcohol, and as you know, if you cook alcohol, it'll evaporate. So always wait and add your flavorings after you've removed your candy from the heat and it's no longer boiling. And remember, when you're making a dish that calls for pecans or walnuts, make sure you add them at the proper time and not too early, because they could possibly get scorched and ruin your dish, and you don't want that to happen. I've had such a great time with y'all today in the kitchen making all these delicious sweets that have brought back so many wonderful memories I've got my mama's Divinity, and I think I did her proud. My cheesy chocolate fudge, and don't forget, Uncle Bubba's Benne candy. I hope y'all will take some of these recipes and get into the kitchen with your children and start making your own memories. And as always, America, I wish you best dishes and love from my kitchen.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.